All right, Grixis Control. This was a build-around submission. For those not familiar with what we do here, in addition to playing a lot of viewer-submitted decks, I also take ideas or a selection of cards and build around them. Someone sent me in a donation asking if I could try and attempt to construct a Grixis Control deck here in Historic, and this is my attempt at that. You'll notice this deck is a base red at the lower end of the curve here, or base black red, so we can cast our spells consistently here. And then we've got a small blue splash at the top end for some Nicol Bolases. I think these are some of the best Grixis payoffs in this format, as well as Atris for another way to attack people that also generates some card advantage here. Out of the sideboard, we also get some good tools like Unmoored Ego and additional discard spells and Thought Erasure. One thing that you'll note is the way this deck is constructed. It's what we would refer to as a tap-out control deck. It is a deck that's interested in playing to the board as opposed to being a reactive control deck with things like counter spells or tapping out on most of our turns. In terms of creature control, we've got some spot removal and some extinction events here, and then some extra in the sideboard. Our plan against combo decks is mostly Unmoored Ego and discard spells, so let's go ahead and pop on into some matches here with this one and see how it goes. YouTube serves as basically a source of encouraging people to head on over to the stream and subscribe. Eternal Witness, total ad revenue in total from YouTube and Twitch accounts for a very small percentage of my income. We tried any mutate decks with snap decks onto Vanguard. We have, and they're just kind of too slow and clunky for this format. So one thing you'll note is that our colors do not currently have a Triome. So we are currently playing 4 off-color Triomes in this deck. So I've got 2 Sultai Triomes and I believe 2 Mardu Triomes. So we don't utilize the other colors of mana off of these. This is just a blue-green Psycho land base, or a blue-black Psycho land for us, essentially. This is a swamp, though. So it does bring these lands into play untapped, the fact that this is a swamp is the primary reason why I'm electing to play things like these over temples that are in our colors. Because, for example, if this was a blue-black temple, making these lands, these would all be tapped on us here, which would not be good. I think we're taking Maelstrom Pulse here. One of my, if you haven't been here for a subscriber survey yet, that's something I do every quarter. And my subscriber survey on average, one of the questions I tend to ask is how much of my, where do you watch my content? And 2/3 of my subscribers say they watch as much or more of me on YouTube as they do on Twitch. Hey, LKR Moose, thanks for the bump. I'll get that added after we're done here today. So what are we doing here? Do I want to play Ashiok to exile their graveyard? Probably not. I think I'm just going to go ahead and Bedevil the Fiend Artisan. Where do you find the survey? I send a survey out every quarter. It comes to you directly via your Twitch email, or whatever email account you have on file with Twitch. I send it out that way. It'll also get posted in the subscriber Discord server. I mean, it's always work hours somewhere. Death Apparatus is the TLDR, right? There's always work hours somewhere in the world. All right, so I think I need to Ashiok this turn so that way I don't risk getting Kroxa here. So I'm gonna mill myself to fill my graveyard up for Kroxa, but there's still exiles there, bin. Hey, Plum Daddy, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate the resub. Welcome back. In fact, I'm almost certain that my carefully curated YouTube channel is a big part of why my channel has more subs than Magic channels that get more average Twitch viewers than me. That bit of cross promotion is key. So I am playing Agonizing Remorse over Thought Erasure in my main deck for 2 reasons. The first is that decks like this current opponent that have graveyard synergies in them, being able to exile cards can be incredibly important. The second reason why I choose to play Agonizing Remorse is because the blue is a small splash in this archetype. So being able to cast Agonizing Remorse more consistently early is a key consideration. Opponent making a pretty big mistake here, drawing with their castle on their turn, probably just trying to get some auto pass value, but this allows me to escape Kroxa and take their card out of their hand now. Little bit low on life here, but as long as we don't get like lightning struck, we're in a pretty good spot. Remorse is marginally better against Dispute against blue decks. That is true as well. The opponent's been doing a lot of damage to themselves. This feels like they're punking me out, so I'm gonna take the guaranteed 2 life. Feel like getting to 5 here is big. Walker M, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Disfigure sounds great. I don't think this is a Redcap matchup. Noxious Grasp kills Shev, and it kills Luris, so that's probably fine. It's probably just trim Agonizing Remorse here, honestly. Just keep more cards that play to the board. I could also see trimming Atris being reasonable. I probably don't need this many threats. And trim 1 Remorse. What do we think of this configuration? I think I like it. Your thought about doing once a week, hour-long, hot take session about Magic and things. I mean, I feel like in order to do that, I would have to, like, sit and, like, write down a list of things that come up. I also feel like talking about things in the moment makes it a little bit more genuine, whereas opposed, like, if you're trying to do... It feels like that session feels like it would have to be a little bit forced. Thanks for the 2-month resub, you know? I know Phyrexian Mana was a mistake, but I wish we could ask which member in Historic. Yeah, short streams in general are also less profitable. There's also a very real, like, so like my deck submission business model, for example, I know that works and generates revenue. So any kind of content I make that's not deck submissions has some risk associated with it, right? Because like my queue is pretty constantly full. That's pretty good. Okay, so Soul Guide Lantern being a card out of their sideboard, I think that means I want to trim Kroxas out of my deck and probably board some Atris back in if we get a game 3. Yeah, opportunity cost trying new content models is very real. And my current amounts of free time are at an all-time low, because while I am fortunate enough to have someone who doesn't, I'm fortunate to be someone who didn't have my job impacted by COVID. Because the kids are home from school, the amount of free time I have for other things is also much less. Because I'm trying to, like, maintain my normal work hours whilst also, trying to educate the chillins. Do I have any advice for a new Magic streamer? Yeah, streaming Magic's a lot of fun, and you should make sure when you're streaming you don't lose sight of that. If you're ever streaming Magic and it stops being fun, you're doing it wrong. And also, I would also give the incredibly realistic advice that you should not stream Magic expecting it to ever be your job. If it becomes a job, that's a nice upside. But if you go into streaming anything on Twitch with the goal of, I'm gonna make this be my job, you're probably gonna be incredibly disappointed. When a enchanted permanent dies or is put into exile, return it to the battlefield under your control. That's really good. So I can technically Disfigure plus Extinction Event here. I could also just, like, Nicol Bolas and plus. Hey, Shredderstone, thanks for the tip. Bumping Jeskai land destruction sounds good. I'll get that bumped up after I'm done today. I think Bolas plus is correct here. It lets them get a little bit of value out of Soul Guide Lantern out of their bin with Luris, but I don't think that's too big of a deal. Yeah, that's actually been like a super fantastic upside to encouraging people to screen share on Discord for the tournaments, Bob, that like people have been in the Discord screen sharing stuff outside of tournament time too, which is great. This is super unfortunate. In fact, the fact that we saw Gallia out of their deck kind of makes my line a lot worse, right? They have Maelstrom Pulse in their deck too. Yeah, so like the fact that this just happened feels really bad. Yeah, I mean, like, they'd be on almost nothing if I had done this last turn, though, too, right? And now I'm, like, down in Nicol Bolas, which is unfortunate. Now, the nice thing here is Mire Triton's gonna fill my bin up for Kroxa a little bit, which is great. If this mills into a Kroxa, I can also just escape one right away here. So now it's a real question of, I think I want to wait on this so that way I can play it and escape it in the same turn. Wait, did they just mess up? Oh no, because I don't have enough mana anyways. Now I kind of want to play this to make them get rid of their last card. Is that right? I think I'd rather just do this. I think I'd rather just castle. Oh, they were on my end step anyways. Okay, so they did that right. Never mind. I was incorrectly seeing what phase we were in. think it's right to pay 2 and draw a card here. Leave creatures in my bin in case I flip a Nicol Bolas later. I'm actually going to Agonizing Remorse their Luris here, because I think one of their ways back into this game is to call the Death Dweller it. Also talking about Thought Erasure versus Agonizing Remorse, seeing a little bit of that added value from Erasure again, or from Remorse here again. Is it worth doing that first so you can 6 them with Kroxa? No, I don't think so. Banefire. That's a historic legal magic card. That is a historic legal magic card. Alright, let's try and end this game, huh? They did, Ironclad. Hey, Styles. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Get your sword to go with that shield. The fact that they haven't found a Kroxa yet here is huge for us. Alright, so they're dead to a removal spell. Get 2 shots at it. Only needed 1, chat. Swish. Haha! Haha! I love the animation on this card. It's so good. Let's give him all the little needles. They're playing Obosh. Could be a ramp deck, could be aggro though too. I think I'm supposed to mulligan this. It's missing a 3rd land, and we're basically Grixis Gates. Well, poop. Alright, so we bottom... We bottom this, and we have a discard spell on 2 and can cycle this on 3. Not a great hand, but yeah, it feels like range of hand sucks keep. Midway Monster, thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. Just keeping me around. Obosh, green-red Gilded Goose. Oh, are they playing Luca? They playing green-red Luca? Could just be good old-fashioned beats as well. We'll take Spellbreaker here, because that one could get a 1/1 counter to protect it from Heartless Act. Well, poop. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Maybe I'm supposed to take another hit from that Spellbreaker so I can remorse their Lovestruck Beast here. It's close. Because now they get to, like, make a 1/1, make a food. And the remorse is drawn dead. Hopefully we can find a, Our even odd sweeper seems real good in this matchup, huh? This was an excellent draw. Really need some card advantage here. Propel us into some gas. Against Obosh, it's not even necessary. All right, sure. Whew! Some fire off the top, chat! Some heat! Some heat! Goodbye, Felicia.
Suffer for your cause.
Watch out for the doubled goose damage, right? Fair. One good draw deserves another, I suppose. Okay. Untapped land, actually pretty okay draw here. Get to Kroxa. There's exactly 5 cards in my bin. They go to 14, we get a big chunky blocker. Pretty close game at the moment. Feel like we've got the board mostly stabilized. The fact that we've got Triome left over in hand maybe gives us a little bit of an edge. Gotta step away from the stream for this time for my daily neighborhood run about carrying a leaf blower. I have to say, my favorite part about my transition to an electric lawnmower is electric lawnmowers are so much quieter than gas-powered mowers. Yes, it's also physically lighter, but that's not really too big of a deal. What brand did I buy? It starts with a K. Is it Cobalt? I think it's the Lowe's brand. It's blue. No, it's not cord. It has an 80-volt battery on it. Ooh, you love to see it. Yeah, I need to try and teach myself how to fix. I didn't fully empty the gas tank on my gas snowblower, and now it doesn't start. So I think we're getting rid of it, but I think it'll be easier to sell if it starts. So need to either figure out how to fix it myself or pay someone to fix it. Yeah, the internet said something about a carburetor. They're easy to clean. Perfect. I'll have to Google it. I bet there's a YouTube video for the model that I have. I actually plan to get rid of it because the electric lawnmower we got has an electric snowblower component that uses the same battery, which is nice. So I plan to just get that. I think I'm holding on to this to cycle. What do I use for a webcam? Logitech C920. It's basically the industry standard for reasonably priced and reasonable quality. Seafoam. I'm gonna write that down. I love 4-mana Bolas too. Big agree. He's great. Buy his stuff. Well, I bought it last year. I bought it in 2019 and then it wouldn't start this January. I think we just hang tight, right? If you use seafoam, use it well away from your house. Okay. No, I have a dedicated microphone as well. Blue Yeti makes a $100 USB microphone. That is also like the industry standard for reasonable budget and decent quality. Peace was never an option for this goose chat. Peace was never an option. Could be Embercleave here, still blocking, I think. Nope, just pressure in the Nicol Bolas. Oh, they can't play Cleave. They're an Obosh deck. Right. Right. Burn spell, that makes sense. I feel like I would be surprised. I feel like you would have to build that deck to be more aggressive, Redlocks. I feel like you'd probably just want to be a 4-color humans deck as opposed to playing Niv at the top end. If I had to venture a guess. What if I just, like, start attacking? I'm at 16. What if I just kill them? Yeah, and they take the trade here, and then we get to play another half-truths. Or they could jump block, sure. I think I still play the second one here. Yeah, I mostly just want to get all the gas out of my garage tray. My garage is attached to my house, so like every time you open the gas canister, it smells real bad. Redcap Melee, and Noxious Grasp. Both of these cards are at a super premium in this format right now, I feel, because they both kill Winota, but they're also both good against Gruul, which is great. Probably Trim and Atris here too. I think I like that. Maybe I cut the discard spells. Their hand gets pretty empty pretty quick. That's probably better. Bring in a couple of Disfigures, leave my threats. Doesn't seem unreasonable. I like cutting Ashiok. Although I guess they're not a questing beast deck. But Ashiok still doesn't impact the board of their plan, so it's probably not great. Yeah, let's do this. Man, it's so sad. If these were Grixis Triomes, this hand is such a snap keep. But because none of these lands make red mana, I need to mulligan this, right? Do I? I'm on the draw. I have both of these. I'm gonna keep. Is 1 mana removal for Renota a big enough deal? If we ran something like Fry instead to kill Teferi's, Yorians, as well as Renota. Well, again, like, think about what we just did here, Mitsu. If you play something like Fry, it doesn't come in this matchup against the girl decks. So while I don't think strictly having 1 mana removal is like a super strict requirement, I do think it's super useful. Look at that. Never didn't have it. Yeah, I made my weekly offering to the shuffler this morning, so we're having some pretty good draws this game. Shaper's Sanctuary. Yeah, that's a card. Alright, so we're gonna board in... We're like 100% boarding in Libation for the next match. Or the third... If there's a third game, we'll board in Libation. I think Feather has a pretty okay field matchup. Extinction Event, easily best draw on the deck. Not close.
Dissenters are welcome to debate me in battle.
This doesn't protect Planeswalkers, right? Whoo! Whoo! Oh, papi! Oh, papi! Papi! Plagued Wind. Plagued Wind. Shuffler confirmed flat, chat. Shuffler confirmed flat. You could say that Extinction Event makes Nicol Bolas even better than he was before. I'm not saying you should make that argument, but I am saying that you could. always have an answer. Things control players say. Things control players say. How about we down tick on Mire Triton, and then we'll mill over Kroxa like a professional and cast it? Gosh, never lucky, chat. Just never lucky. Have you ever seen someone as unlucky as I am? Ah! Our opponent's playing a combo deck.
Daddy?
What's that?
It's one of Jacob's balloons from his birthday. It falls out of I grab it.
That's an old birthday balloon. Hey, whose birthday's coming up real soon? Hey, Jenrian, thanks for the 16 months. Welcome back. I'm really surprised he didn't take the opportunity to talk about his birthday. Usually we can't get him to shut up about it. Declan turns 5 in 2 days.
My knowledge is endless.
If you would have hit there, I would have had to turn off the stream because I don't do satanic packs. Fair. Harsh but fair. They got me, chat. They got me. I wanted the mystery card, and they got me. I already have so many Doomblades, chat. I didn't need another Doomblade. Listen, if I was playing paper Magic right now, I would put my cards face up on the table and just let my opponent know they were allowed to concede at any point. You just put them face up and just be like, listen, you do you, but this is what's going on over here. Yes. Yeah, when I was playing, yes, you are allowed to reveal your hand at any point in paper Magic. When you hit a point with your control deck where you feel like you are solidly in garbage time, I would literally just play with my hand face up on the table and just be like, listen, you can keep playing, but like, you know, there's a round timer that you should think about.
I know.
Or if you're not worried about the round timer, we could be getting lunch. It's like you're allowed to continue taking game actions from this point. Lunch is the real draw, let's be real, yep. Listen, as a control player, you try and pick up your lunch percentage points wherever you can in a paper tournament. Playing control decks really brings down your average lunch duration. So when you can pick up those valuable lunch minutes by convincing your opponent the game is over, there's real things to be gained. Alright. Maybe Jeskai tempo like we played earlier? Mayhaps some Jeskai tempo. Why you gotta do this to your WoW? Don't act like I haven't convinced you into crafting most of these awful Grixis cards before. Don't you act innocent like this is gonna be the first time you load up your deck editor and craft terrible Grixis cards. I don't believe you any more than you believe yourself. Alright, are we bedeviling this turn? feel like the answer is no. Listen, if you're in this chat, there's a strong possibility that you've already crafted most of these cards at various points in your life. Somebody who's crafted many Jeskai decks thanks to the stream, take out the debit card. Lol. Yep. So, probably safe to assume they have some kind of protection spell here. I think we just slot down Nicol Bolas here. Take a chunk out of their hand, put a blocker up. Spell Pierce. I wonder if they're on red mana or not. The fact that they have basic island and basic plains makes me think maybe they're blue-white. I think our deck's super reasonable against creature decks. Ooh, there's a piece of innovation. All right, only 3 cards in my bin. I'm gonna play Atris here. That's a really sweet one with Luris, huh? Because you get to, like, cast it back and protect your Luris? That seems sweet. Even lands off of this are pretty good. Because, lands let us work our way towards flipping this over, which we'll get that back. It's a human for fight as one. Yeah, that's a good catch. Two power 1-drops also apply a pretty reasonable amount of pressure too, which is great. Alright, so Disfigure and Noxious Grasp seem great here. Probably want to drag my curve down. This is likely an Ashiok. Is it an Ashiok out matchup? Ashiok does hammer their graveyard, which is nice. Libation might actually be okay too, because it gets around God's Willing and the Indestructible spell if they only have 1 creature. This is probably an Ashiok out matchup. Sure, I'm like a Kroxa. How do we feel about Mire Triton? I think Triton is worse than discard spells. What if I do this? What do we think? I think I like it. Yeah, Libation can take their enchant creatures off in a pinch too. Very true. Yeah, I don't know, Wargy, you'd have to play some games with it. I think I have to mulligan this again. I don't think I can keep a hand that does nothing till turn 3 in this matchup. This seems fine. Not great, but fine. Luris is very good at playing through multiple pieces of spot removal like this. You're playing Storm Herald, and your Luris opponent on the play game 1 played turn 1 Soul Guide Lantern. Rough. Gotta go right now. Gotta go right now. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Well then. Let's just not get caught with our hand in the cookie jar, and let's just kill that now. Rather than get caught with our hand in the cookie jar, let's just kill their threat. I could, like, pass and, like, make them have it, but, like, if they peel, like, a God's Willing there, we just, like, get slaughtered. I think we just, like, kill their thing while they're tapped out, play it safe. Are we 3-0 with Grixis control, chat? Is anybody... I'm not sure how to feel about this. Does anybody have... Tell me how I'm supposed to feel? We should feel good. We should feel worried. Yeah, this looks fine. The recent tweets praising Watsy got us whitelisted, something like that. Alright, Doomblade, 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 blocker. Kind of a Doomblade, probably okay start here. Thanks for casting a spell. I think we just want all of our lanes here at this point. Let's put this out tapped. Records don't matter. Grixis will still hurt you. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the God's honest truth? So, I think the plan here is kill this sailor inside of combat, so that way maybe they pay mana to protect it so I can stick Ravager next turn. You've been playing Remorseful Cleric as Graveyard Hate and Iowa Winota has been impressive. That's a good piece of innovation, Ricky. I like that idea a lot. I like that idea. I like it a lot. Okay, so now here's a question. Do I Bedevil to kill this right away, or do I put the blocker out? I think I just put the blocker out. Now, this could get in trouble with Brazen Borrower. Like, Borrower plus Counterspell. Yeah, I'm probably just supposed to not pay life and kill it. The upside to getting Bolas down is really high, though, in the event they don't have a bounce spell. Man about to get bounced said. Now they're gonna have a counterspell for this, like a dive down, and I'm just gonna die. Whoo, buddy old pal. Oh, buddy old pal. Alright, we're at 11. We're on a 4-turn clock from the Brazen Borrower. Mire Triton's gonna be one of the cards we board out in a matchup like this. Definitely not interested in that. Can't block. We're just under the gun at this point. We can't wait. Bottoms up. You'll love to see it. Rough. Probably just Atris. Drag the curve down a little bit. I guess Atris probably better than Ashiok. It also fills my graveyard up a little bit. Let's try this. Correct. Yeah, the games against mono blue tend to be quick regardless. Agree with that sentiment. Agree with that sentiment. I think this is in the realm of keepable on the play. I think I'd easily mulligan this on the draw. I don't think Redcap is worth bringing it in. I think getting 2 for 1 with that card is not quite good enough. You also, while you'll definitely lose games because you're not mana efficient enough, you're also going to lose games in this matchup to not having enough lands. I am doing well, Yuzumat. So I elected to not kill this on my end of turn because I have 2 removal spells. So when this sequence happens here, where they counter my first one, I'm guaranteed to get to untap and kill it with the Bedevil. And I'm actually going to elect to shock and Bedevil as opposed to tap land Heartless Act, because resource efficiency tends to be very key in this matchup, and I think spending my 3rd mana this turn is worth more than saving those points of life, he says before he bricks on a land drop. I guess this is a card they play. Yeah, maybe I should leave my Mire Tritons in. That's probably not unreasonable. I wasn't thinking about this because they didn't play it, but yeah, I should probably leave my Mire Tritons in. Heartless Act, no, Heartless Act is, like most cards templated like Heartless Act, it checks both upon when it's cast and when it resolves. Are we playing 27 lands? That sounds right. Yeah, usually, I think 27 lands for Triomes is about where Control decks want to be. In most formats that have them. Okay. I'm gonna do this now, because they can't currently Wizard's Lightning or look out. So, wow, that just happened. Okay, yep. Yeah, because this isn't a pirate or a wizard. Alright, if they don't give me a land in a face-up pile, I'm taking the face-down pile. Actually, probably just taking the double pile regardless here. That's probably where we want to be in life. What is this face-down card? Sure. I guess the Bolas doesn't do anything against Stonecoil Serpent. Stonecoil Serpent's protection from multicolored is just like so absurdly relevant in so many of these games. Yeah, we're actually just dead, huh? Rough. Yeah, like, Heartless Act doesn't kill that card, right? Yeah, I agree. Stonecoil Serpent is is a very innocuous, powerful card. It's a card that, like, on the surface you glance at and you're like, oh, that's probably fine and playable. And then, like, it comes up in so many spots where it's just super useful. Hey, good game, Squig. Good luck in the rest of your constructed event. I think we stumbled a little bit too long that game. Easiest mulligan of my life. Yeah, that seems fine. Double Mire Triton fuels the Kroxa nicely. I think we probably bottomed the Extinction Event here in the dark. We just run off like one more red source and 2 lands total. Hand's very, very good. Yeah, good takeaway from that game is leaving Mire Triton in is definitely right. Not only because of the potential for Stonecoil Serpent, but also because of their 2/1 flasher. Durka, thanks for the 21 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I would kind of be surprised if Tempered Steel's competitive, if I'm being honest. Not to be a huge downer, but... Come on, Beef Dog. Let's go. Let's go, Beef Dog. Hey, Big Country, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Tempered Steel was a powerhouse when it was in Standard. For some of it. I definitely didn't see play for the entirety of it. I was playing Standard for the second half of that format. Well, let's find out what they're playing in case they come back. They're playing Gruul. Hey, you know, we've all been there. Hit the Q button and real life comes up. People have children and significant others and pets and, you know, there's a plague going on. I'm not sure if any of you are aware, but there's currently a plague. Oh no! Is anything more feels Magic Man than miss a land drop, mill 2 lands on your Mire Triton? Does anything embody feels Magic Man more than that experience right there? That experience right there, just like, well. Nice, very nice. All right, just need to draw 1 more land next turn. Get fueled up into that. Yes, the big thing, I tweeted this at one point, the big thing that COVID has really taught me is that every post-apocalyptic movie where the sub-theme ends up being the humans are worse than whatever the post-apocalyptic event was, really, really rings true. Like, of all the things going on with this, just people constantly being disappointing is just like a really common theme. How is this deck performing so far? It's actually not to good. Okay, it's been performing quite good. At the risk of your wild cards, I would like to tell you it's been performing quite well. we've queued up into a lot of creature decks, and it's been super reasonable. Well, that's just rude. Yes, also remember most yeah, like, you know how there's always like that person. The Jurassic Park series is actually a really good example. You know how you're always like, they wouldn't reopen the dinosaur park. People have died there too many times. Listen, capitalism has taught me, chat, that the dinosaur park is opening back up. All I have to say is the dinosaur park is open for business. Gerard's Wisdom, thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate the third of a year. Does that mean Judd Dinos is up next to Nutridge? It does not. Alright, so I think the play here is go block, play Extinction Event for odd. How do we feel about that? I think I like it. Yeah, Mire Triton's a super constructed playable card. Super playable. Again, gonna leave creatures in my bin just in case we flip a 4-mana Nicol Bolas down the line. Because business, God, watching the Lorax for the first time as an adult, or like reading that story, the movie probably came out when I was already an adult, but like really taking in what the storyline of the Lorax is so depressing. It's just like, oh, that's so very correct. That's so very correct. I think that's how we're boarding. Boarding in all the removal, trimming the discard spells, and the planeswalkers that don't impact the board. Yes! Yeah, and then where we're at in life with regards, you realize boomers have not been dealing with their problems all their lives. Yeah, like you go back and look when the Lorax was originally written, and you look at like what's occurred since then, and it's just like, it's depressing. It's like, y'all really just ignored all the warnings, huh? Halfway there, oh, 6 months of Twitch Prime, welcome back, Dr. Jazzin. If you've not watched the Lorax, 10 out of 10, would recommend. It's an adorable movie. It's your kids will love it. The Lorax, for people that haven't seen it, is the theme is there are all of the humans live in this fake town with fake plants, and the person that owns the town is the person of a wealthy corporation who invented the concept of people buying canned air from him because the air is so polluted it's hard to breathe. So you gotta buy the canned air to get your hit of refreshing air. And one of the main character in the story explores outside the fake town to find a wasteland. And then there's a character called the Lorax that tells the story of how that happened. I feel like I'm supposed to Kroxa them here while their hand still has cards. I don't really care about this 2-2. My health is kind of high. If they play like a questing beast next turn and I rip a land, I can Extinction Event and get rid of all their even stuff. Untapped land would still be a good draw here because I could act plus Mire Triton. Yes, Ritual of Soot is probably better than Extinction Act in this particular matchup. I agree with that sentiment. We're one card short of escaping that. The Lorax book was banned in schools in California because it portrayed the logging industry poorly. That is true, yes. And now we get to escape Kroxa next turn and then the game is over. For people saying that doesn't seem like California now, things change. It's been a long time since that book came out. It's also a good reminder that there's still hope for the South. Vote blue. Texas could become a swing state in my lifetime. I'm just gonna play this and name Odd, just not take damage here. There's actually some polls that have Biden and Trump fairly close in Texas. I don't know if it'll happen this election, but we'll see. I bet in my lifetime we see Texas become purple. Especially if Texas continues to import tech jobs. Those darn colleges and their liberal biases pumping out well-educated people that realize they shouldn't vote for the GOP. Is there an actual chance Trump gets... Yes. 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 Do you know why Trump got elected in the first place? Because a bunch of people thought that was not a thing that could happen. I don't know if this is accurate, but I've actually heard that Hillary literally didn't have a concession speech prepared because they didn't think her losing was a possibility. And that level of arrogance caused her to run a poor campaign on top of everything else. Of the 10 most banned books of 2019, 8 were because of LGBTITA plus content, and other 2 were Harry Potter and Handmaid's Tale. Alright, what am I doing here? Probably just tap Clan Pass. Let's kill this now in response. Rough ass. Well, I'm gonna take the 2 cards and I'm gonna bin the Titan. Deal. Deal. Because I get to... This card's so good with Kroxa, chat. The fact that this puts the extra cards in the bin is so insane. I mean, gerrymandering's an issue everywhere. Like, whenever people jokingly tell me I should run for office here on stream, it's not even a possibility where I live. Not on the actual things I would want to represent. The area I live in is incredibly gerrymandered. If you wanna see what I mean, look up the district that Darren LaHood represents. It's like super just like cuts out all of the actual town. People talking about Agonizing Remorse versus not. Again, real upside to this card. Being able to exile things like Uro here. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and Extinction Event the Stitcher Supplier. Just like get the card in my bin so I can escape this next turn. Huh? I think I'd actually rather do this, because if I hit a land, I can flip it over right away. I don't know, Beansy. I need to sit down and figure that out myself tonight. I'm not sure if I want to go for the fusion or not. After I do my post-stream stuff, I'm gonna think about it. So this lets them return 2 lands to their hand to pick their thing back up. Just looked at Darren LaHood's district match. It's ridiculous. Do you have a link offhand so I could show it on stream? I'm not going to Google it myself, but if you've got it pulled up, post the link in chat. Bloomington looks like it's a political peninsula on a district map. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, this is great for people that from outside. So this is my district. Here's civilization in a town. Here's more civilization in a town. I live on the outskirts of Bloomington, so I get lumped in with the cornfields. Here's another town. So everywhere where there's cities, there's more well-educated people. So you cut the groups that have high concentrations of well-educated people out, and you create a Republican district. Is how this works. So metropolitan area, metropolitan area, metropolitan area. Oh, Ashiok, they're a graveyard deck. I definitely shouldn't cut my Ashiok here. Let's think about what we're doing. Definitely want Noxious Grasp about what they're doing. What am I trimming here? It's probably just a couple of my threats. I don't need to close out super quickly post board. The historic Jeskai land destruction deck called the Future. Sounds good, Gerard. The word gerrymandering comes from districts looking like salamanders. Yeah. Yeah, there's actually, someone created a font where the font is literally the alphabet spelled out with gerrymandered districts. What's up, Jake? You're hungry? Go upstairs, Mommy. Mommy said she'll help you get some food. She said she would help you, bud. I love you. I promise she's up there and will help you. He's trying to get in his own way here today. Maybe I should keep that so I can cycle it later. As in percentage. Strider Stone. Alright, so they have 3 cards left in their hand. So the problem here is that when I double Kroxa them, I'm going to give them enough to get Uro back out of their bin. But I think I still just have to do that. I don't think I really have a better play. Yeah, Ashiok would have been the best draw on our deck there, not close. If we'd have drawn an Ashiok, the game probably would have ended on the spot. How do they justify making districts look like that? Because it's not illegal. There was a politician from, I think it was one of the Carolinas, who gave an interview, and in his interview he said, "We gerrymandered the districts to get 11 Republican representatives, and the only reason why we stopped at 11 was because we couldn't get 12. Like, just point blank went on the news and said that. And if you wonder, someone said, why isn't that illegal? It's not illegal because the Supreme Court has not said it's illegal, is the answer. And with judges, that was in court. Okay, so that was in court. Sure, of course it was. Yes, the reason why it isn't legal is because the people largely in charge of making it illegal stand to benefit from it. And trying to fight things like that and having them declared illegal gets decided by judges like Brett Kavanaugh. Which is why Supreme Court appointments really matter. Which is why lower judge appointments really matter too as well. Like, you gotta run them up the whole court system to get to the Supreme Court even. No, it's definitely going up there. Wargay requested a banner already. Okay, so they only have 2 cards in their bin, and we've got Kroxa and they don't, so definitely anybody's game at the moment, but we're a little bit ahead. One of the most important things, especially as someone who's been a progressive that felt really depressed at one point this year, it's important to remember there's a lot more than just the presidency at stake. If you don't follow the Justice Democrats on Twitter, I'd highly recommend giving them a follow or looking up their organization if you're a progressive in the US. They're the folks that helped get Ocasio-Cortez elected, if you're not familiar, as well as several others at this point. They're actual progressives looking to represent real people and not corporate values. There's a big difference between someone like that and a neoliberal like Joe Biden. I did. It's really well done, Kurtzenshi. Getcha. Alright, slow and steady. I draw Aether Gust. That's pretty good. I think we declined to put this on top, because I've got 2 in the bin. Really just want to draw Ashiok before they get a 6th card in the bin, right? If they get their Uro back before we get our Kroxa back, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Yeah, probably dead. I guess if we draw Ashiok, even though they've got Uro back, that still gives us enough to get our Kroxa back. We can also hit a removal spell here. If we hit a removal spell for Uro, they can't escape it back again right away. Fiend Artisan and Uro having a little bit of tension in the opponent's archetype here. This wants things in their bin and this exiles them. Rough. I think we're dead at this point. Fiend Artisan lets them sacrifice Citrus Supplier and have a constant flow of stuff from their bin. So, it's a close game. Had some good back and forth, and then the opponent was ultimately able to top deck out of it before we were. They're not quite as aggressive as I thought they were. I think I'm going to leave the Oracle of Half-Truths in and trim some of my spot removal here. So that way I can have a little bit of card advantage. I mean, to be fair, we have 27 lands, but 4 of them cycle, right? So, like, it's when you're in the late game like that, it's kind of like you're only playing 23. It's one of the reasons why the cycling mechanic is so good. This hand's great. Again, the fact that this is a Triome and not a Temple, in addition to cycling late, also means it brings this into play untapped, which is nice. Well, I guess that's not super relevant at this point. Oh, did the new channel pages go live? New channel pages are supposed to be live. What happened to Yuri and Vanafear? It has the same points as Sultai Dredgewargi, and my tiebreaker when things are at the same points is playing the deck that has more contributed to it. What do I take here? It's probably just the Uro, huh? What is Sultai Dredge? As always, if you're wondering what an upcoming deck we're going to be playing looks like, you can type !deck queue and find a link to that on my website with everything else. Yeah, I need to figure out, so question for people generically once the new schedule stuff rolls out. Is it better, should I move my schedule from being the Google Calendar on my website to just being on my Twitch stream? It's slightly less convenient for me, but I can manage it. Anybody have strong thoughts or feelings on that? No, there's going to be no way to sync them at the start here. You have my calendar synced on your phone. Oh, that's good to know. That's... Okay, yeah, so like that's a practical reason to still use the Google one.
Hey, Daddy, I'm gonna watch the show in the basement.
Yes, you can watch the show in the basement, buddy. Thank you for asking. If I play Atris, this gets to exile what it mills. The what's it called is, I think I just need to bedevil this. Using the built-in Twitch schedule one also makes it harder for me to update and maintain because I can't update it easily from my phone. Whereas like the existing one's just Google Calendar. That's not a feature it supports, Blackheart. There's the TLDR. Gosh, I think we're dead. Correct, GWS. If you look at that deck, there's ley lines in the sideboard. So when you board in ley line, you need to board into Luris. No, I cannot, Kyle. It does not support anything like that. It's super bare bones and minimal. Hey, thanks. Thank you for the sub gifties. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Well, I mean, all things considered, that's one of the better draws, huh? They get to Fiend Artisan up something spicy here, though, so we could be in trouble. Yeah, this is really smart on their part. So they went and got Uro, which drew them a card. Gah. Okay, so now we just do this, right? I have to take another hit here inside of combat, but if the rest of their cards brick, we could be okay. They do have Questing Beast in their 75. Well, there's 2 of those in exile now, right?
I aspire for more.
Yeah, I have Bedevil for the Questing Beast, but I don't have 7 mana. Next turn is the issue. I should have done that after damage happened. I just wanted to prevent them from finding an odd creature. So I should be at 3 here. If being at 2 versus 3 matters, like, should be at 3. Yep. Oh gosh, the top of their deck is so hot. Can't cast this because I'm at 2 instead of 3. I waited till our turn because I could have drawn a even odd card there. Whoa! I don't think I've ever seen that animation before. That was really sweet. I am Groot, right? It was a close set. It was good. It was good. Good last match too. Alright, so we had 4-2. I mean, like, all things considered, if you told me I was gonna 4-2 with my Grixis control deck, I'd say, yeah, I'll take that all day. Do I have any thoughts on what we ended up playing ultimately? Yeah, the rewards are just like super delayed a lot of the time. I have no idea. Sometimes they show up after the next event. I feel like I probably want another Mire Triton. My big thought, someone asking in chat, I think this card's better than Ritualisted a lot of the time. I think especially if you have creatures of your own, the fact that this doesn't always kill your stuff is great a lot of the time. I also think there's enough graveyard things in this format that exiling is nice. I also think there's enough random things that have higher converted mana costs that exiling those is nice, whereas Ritualistic can just be dead, so... felt pretty good. Like having Bolas and Atris and Kroxa to kill people after we had controlled the board a little bit felt super reasonable. I think Agent of Treachery is going to get the axe. I would be very surprised if they ban anything in Standard. I think Standard's healthy enough that they're probably just going to let it rot till rotation. At least for me personally. I personally don't think I plan on playing Standard again. Once I finish my deck queue, I don't think I plan on playing Standard again as long as Teferi Time Raveler's legal in it. I have a few Standard decks left in the queue after today. After today, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Standard decks, so probably like a week's worth of Standard decks in there still. Alright, anywho, enough about that format. We're going to close up on a little bit more historic today. Did I write Sultai Dredge? Someone asked me what I meant about Sultai. It's definitely Grixis Dredge. Listen, I updated the stream title this morning and Magic Arena wasn't working. It should say Grixis Dredge. For $100 I'll play your standard deck. Heck, for $50 I'll play your standard deck. Also, the sideboard apparently didn't import fully. What's up with that? Oh, there's pack rats in here. Okay. Fauna Shaman's not really a competitive card in Historic. You want to pick the Minecraft show? Perfect timing. All right, I'm going to hit ad roll. I didn't yet. I'll be back in just a couple minutes with some Grixis Dredge. All right, let's cue your Minecraft show up, huh? Hey, sorry about that. Children still don't fully, they don't type in spells, so they can't search for their own stuff on the smart TV just yet.